What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. As always, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. You could be doing so many other things with your precious time, but the fact that you take 1 hour of your time to tune in to the Arrington Gavin Show, all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, as always, we try to give it to you unfiltered, give you great content on a excuse me, on a daily basis. We drop new episodes Monday through Fridays. All right, Monday through Fridays, at 7 p.m. on all digital and streaming platforms. So, on YouTube, you can check us out on the streaming platforms of YouTube, Rumble, as well as at the Arrington Gavin Show. New episodes drop at 7 p.m. As well as wherever you get your podcast, whether it's iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves in the Metro Atlanta area with our friends over at WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on their platform. And y'all, look, I have to mention because last show I said I had some great news that I couldn't wait to share with you all, and I can't help myself. I can't stop it. The awesome news, drum roll please. All right, you know what the great news is? We are continuing to grow our audience. This time we are growing it in front of not only the mobile app audience, I guess you could say, but we have gained a new audience on Roku, y'all. That's right. The Arrington Gavin Show has just signed on to be a part of the app GoatVerse TV. That's right. GoatVerse TV. It is a free app that is available on the App Store and Google Play Store for all you Android users out there. I pray for y'all because, see, I'm an Apple person. I prefer Apple. Now, I will say I got two phones, one Android, one Apple, and guess what's my favorite? Just guess. All right, I'm not going to say anymore. But it's a free app, and it's also available on the on Fire Stick as well as on Roku. All you have to do, my friends, is to type GoatVerse TV. All right, GoatVerse TV on your Roku. Download it. It's awesome content. Awesome content on there. I mean, you got content from of course my show and as well as other great content creators from the world of music, pop culture, um, just a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Uh, I can look. I'm pulling it up right here on my phone as we speak. You get to tune into shows like the Goat Talk Live, the Blensville Awards, which as you know, I happen to be a winner. I was a proud winner of the 2024 Blensville Award for Best Podcast. And yes, I have joining forces with them because I believe in their mission to share with the world amazing content. And what else we have? A Bare Naked Truth podcast. Um, let's see here. I've mentioned Blensville. Loads of great music videos from local and independent music artists, from R&B, hip hop, you name it. Goat bars and verses. Let's see here. Blensville Radio. I mean, it's just so much great stuff, man. So you can tune in all on one app, and again, it's for free. We make it easy for you, so you can watch me on the go, or you can watch me on your big screens. That's right. So I just wanted to share again the amazing news. The Arrington Gavin Show. We continue to grow our audience each and every step of the way. We were blessed and fortunate with the opportunity. And look, let me tell you something. When you stay consistent, y'all, when you stay consistent, when you keep on believing, when you keep on praying, when you keep on working hard, blessings will start coming your way. And this was a blessing that came my way, and I couldn't say no. I couldn't say no. So, of course, you can still tune into the Arrington Gavin Show on the platforms that we're currently on, but we again have joined forces with the GOATverse TV family, so you can now tune in to episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. So do me a favor. Again, I will continue to say this throughout the show. Download the app. It's free. What's stopping you? It is free 99. That's my favorite number, by the way. Free 99. The App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Fire Stick. So that was our great news, my friends. We are continuing to grow our platform, and we couldn't be more excited. So as I mentioned before, look, those are ways you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's see here. What else am I missing? Of course, on social media, you can follow us on our social media platforms, on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and Substack. We have some great content there. Please support, follow us. And we just hope to give you great content. If you continue to follow us, we're going to continue to work hard to make sure we give you the great, informative content, entertaining content, but also, like I said, informative, because we all know knowledge is power, and without knowledge, we struggle to kind of stay up to speed of what's going on in our world. So before I head into commercial break, let me go ahead and let's start off with our fun fact today. So on today's fun fact, did you know that McDonald's once made bubblegum flavored broccoli? I've heard some awful things. This is definitely in the top 3 of most disgusting things I've ever heard. First of all, a bubblegum flavor. I'm trying to figure out, is it like a bubblegum flavoring that they sprinkle on top? Anyway, let me follow you up with this. So it once created a bubblegum flavored broccoli to encourage kids to eat more vegetables. For all you smart people out there, you are to like kind of guess it. Okay, why did they try to create a bubblegum flavored broccoli? But obviously the experiment failed, and the product was never sold. Thank God. Now, when I was a kid, my first favorite vegetable was broccoli, right? Broccoli, it was simple. Broccoli and cheese. Like, broccoli was cheese on top. It was amazing. Then eventually I just said I got tired of the cheese on top of it and started eating broccoli like it was nothing. You season it up right. I was always eating broccoli. Now I'm a kid that just loves green vegetables. The only green vegetable that I can't stand is green peas. I absolutely despise green peas. I think it's a disgusting flavor. It's disgusting. It's awful. It needs to die somewhere. I don't like it. I love spinach. I love asparagus. I love broccolini. I love Brussels sprouts. I love all vegetables except for green peas. Oh, and like zucchini and squash. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Just it's not even a texture thing. It's just a taste thing, flavor. I mean, you can season up as best you can. I will never be a fan of zucchini or squash. Or is it the same thing? Is zucchini and squash the same thing, or are they like cousins? I don't know. We'll talk more about that later on. All right, my friends. So look, let's go ahead. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we will be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. As I mentioned before, we have a lot more in store for you on today's show. We're going to talk about some politics. We're going to talk about some sports. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, as we always do. So don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new GOATverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GOATverse TV.
GOATverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
In GOATs, we trust. I love that commercial. I love it. In goats we trust. And that's right. I mentioned before the break, look, on the great news. Yes, that's right. The Arrington Gavin Show is joining forces with GoatVerse TV app. We are collaborating with them where you can tune into amazing content, including our show on their app. GoatVerse TV app is free, available on the App Store, Google Play, as well as on Roku and Fire Stick. So look, your boy is growing. Your boy is growing. That's why I got my good shirt on. For those who are watching, I got my good shirt on. This one, it's my party shirt because I'm excited right now. I wanna party, have a great time. All right, let me stop joking with y'all. Cause y'all like, Arrington, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. All right, chill. So last episode, I tossed in a new segment we call basically Black Excellence Report. And what the Black Excellence Report is that we bring to you amazing stories that involves, in my mind, some Black excellence that we need to continue to share, and then I want to share with you all for those who probably was unaware of that. So on today's Black Excellent Report, let me go ahead and bring it up. A gentleman recently, let me actually get his name so I won't be fumbling over here. Now, when it comes to stereotypes in the Black community, one of those stereotypes is that Black people, we don't rock in the snow, right? We don't like the cold. We don't do snow. Which implies that we don't snowboard, we don't ski. Now, this gentleman, his name is Zeb Powell. He happens to be the first Black snowboarder to win the X Games at the age of just 20 years old. Now, let me tell you something. One thing about Black people, man, once we find something that we love, we find something that we believe that we can be great at, or we succeed. And regardless of what it is, it could be basketball, golf, rugby, you name it, we thrive and we work hard to get on that level. Let me go ahead and share this quick soundbite with you all, and then we'll talk a little bit about it on the other side.
20 years old, making his X Games debut. And that coffin to backflip? That is crazy. The phone cam is tough because he pushes so much snow up here. The leaderboard. Oh! Take another look at this. Finds it, grabs it, then continues on with that 180 at the back. Backside rodeo and touch.
Wow.
Whoa. And very similar to Jake Cantor's with the 187-20. Nollies a little bit on it, just like we saw Marcus Cleveland. And guess what he gets? He gets some knocks! What a moment for Zeb Powell making his X Games debut. 20 years.
So that right there, fam, that right there showed, gentlemen, again, Zeb Powell became the first Black snowboarder to snag the X Games gold in the Knuckle Huck event. For those who are watching, this was no joke. I mean, he's literally like, now when it comes to snowboarders, I didn't really know too many about popular snowboarders. The only person that comes to mind is like Shaun White, who happened to be a white guy, and he was always like the guy that you always heard in the conversation of, oh, this is the guy you want to beat. This is the guy that's on top of the world. This is the guy that continues to win medals on top of medals on top of medals. Now, I'll share a funny story. So I experienced snowboarding once in my life when I was in high school. My school, we had opportunity to take a trip to a ski resort, snowboard ski resort, and I said, what was my options? Skiing or snowboarding? And in my mind, again, I'm not familiar with any of them, but I said, which one look like it's gonna be the most easiest? All right, which one's gonna be the most easiest? And so I'm like, well, let me go ahead and snag some equipment, some snowboarding equipment, and let me pursue that. Right, that seems cool. That seems easy. I don't need to have so many things to hold on to. It's just boom, getting the balance. How hard could it be? Boy, when I tell you, I ate snow so many times. I don't think I stayed up less. I don't think I stayed up more than like 2 minutes at a time. Like it was so hard. And see, they don't tell you how slick the snow is and how slick your board is. And it was just, and for one, let me tell you something. The beginners class was trash. Okay. The beginners class was so like unhelpful. The guy, I'm pretty sure, was a retired man that's just like, hey, I'm getting a free check regardless. I'm here enjoying snowboarding. It's easy for me, but for you, y'all got to be the one willing to want to learn and stuff. Obviously, you get tired of seeing, your friends going up on the high slopes and up the little ramp. I forgot what they call it, but up the little like bench that they have coasting you on up the hills and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I want to do this. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? Man, when I tell you, I forgot that I was scared of heights. Okay. And and then I got up there and I'm like, what do I do next? What do I do next? I was struggling. I couldn't even know how to get up. It was hell. It was hell. It was a one and done experience for me. Was it a beautiful sight seeing all the, the hills and mountains of snow? Absolutely, right? Let me tell you something. My black ass ended up going to the where'd I go? Went to the jacuzzi. They got a jacuzzi that was like outside. So you got the snow jacuzzi. It was heaven. That was my peaceful thing. It, like I said, it was a one and done thing. I knew my lane. All right. I knew that this wasn't going to be a long-term thing. Now, my mom and my dad was probably saying, I wish this boy would have told us sooner before we bought him all this equipment, all this gear, because ski stuff, equipment from Ski World is not cheap. It is not cheap. But what I will say, y'all, and I don't want my horrifying story to depict what kind of experience you will have if you partake in this. Please pursue it. If you're interested, check it out. Do your research prior. Just remember, it's not like riding a bike. It's not easy, y'all, but it is an experience. And so I want to commend Zeb Powell for one. Let's be honest. A brother named Zeb, I want to say you were meant for snowboarding. Your name is Zeb Powell. Zeb. But no, congrats, man. Here on this show, we want to start really showcasing all the black excellence that exists in our society, because I feel as though that we have an administration that does not want, to provide a light to shine a light on the great things that occur within our community. So here, look, if you ain't gonna get it, if he's trying to ban other folks from doing it, look, I'm not gonna stop doing it. I'm gonna continue to pursue it, and I think we all should continue to shine a light on that. But this is actually, I'm gonna digress from the story and moving on to a really, really, not, I wouldn't say breaking news, but it will happen pretty recent, and it's still shocking to a lot, but not to some. Joy Reid, she is an MSNBC anchor, a long standing long-time journalist, and quite a successful one as well. It was just announced that her show was getting canceled from MSNBC. She is the host of the Reidout, which airs weeknight at 7 p.m. It's one of the top primetime shows on the network. And Joy Reid, who is a prominent figure, I believe, on the network, one of the prominent voices, it was a bit shocking to hear that she was getting canceled. So here's a soundbite from a gentleman. His name is Michael I'm Hope Tip, I believe this. I hope I pronounced that his last name right. He's a regular on Roland Martin Unfiltered. I've seen him many of times on Roland Martin Unfiltered show. But Michael is also the host of the African American. Let's see here. He is the host of the. Let me get the actual title of his show so I can do him due diligence as well. You gotta show respect where respect is due for our content creators out there. the African History Network show. So you can tune into that on YouTube, or also his website is www.theafricanhistorynetwork.com. So this is a quick soundbite of what he had to share about this story breaking, and I'll talk about it a little bit, and get my thoughts on it after that soundbite.
Well, Variety Magazine and thegrill.com are reporting that MSNBC host Joy Reid's primetime show, The Reidout, has been canceled. It's going to be Friday, February 28th, that her show will broadcast for the last time. Now, this comes amid a shakeup at MSNBC. We know in January 2025, Rashida Jones, the president of MSNBC and first African-American woman to lead MSNBC, left, and now you have a new CEO. Now, this is not good because Joy Reid had one of the best shows on MSNBC. I watched it every night. I watch a lot of the shows on MSNBC. And she also had a lot more African-American experts, political analysts, guests, etc., than most of the other shows on MSNBC. Now, hopefully they can move her back to her weekend time slot, because remember, this is her third show on MSNBC. She had the Reid Report, which came on Monday through Friday, middays around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think it was right after Ronan Farrell's show at 1 p.m. Then she moved to AM Joy on the weekends, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And that's after MSNBC kicked out Melissa Harris Perry. And now she is on the Reidout, which started in 2020. She was the first Black woman to host a primetime show on MSNBC as well. Now, when we look here at what's taking place at the network, Joy Reid's show being canceled at MSNBC came amid a dramatic overhaul launched by the network's new president, Rebecca Cutler. Sources familiar with the situation told the New York Times. Now, the NBC Universal-backed cable network is expected to move the trio of Simone Sanders Townsend, Alicia Menendez, and Michael Steele, their TV show, The Weekend, which comes on Saturdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. MSNBC is expected to move that to Joy Reid's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time weekly time slot. Now, The Weekend is an excellent show as well, so hopefully it does good in this time slot. Now, the move will have direct implications for Joy Reid, the anchor who currently fills that slot. What's going to happen next is not clear. She has not been fired from the network as of yet. She may just become a contributor. She may get another show, another panel show as well. We'll have to see.
All right. So that's that kind of piggybacking of what Michael had to speak on. Yes, Joy Reid, again, popular figure on the network. She, how can I put it? She was also a part of the slew of journalists that were anti-Trump, right? Were critics of Trump, which in general, to me, is a part of the job. As what they do as a news journalist, you're gonna have your critics, you're gonna have your you're gonna have the ones that are that are somewhat leaning on one side or the other. Now, I get it. Sometimes it's folks are saying, well, why can't news anchors and news journalists just give us the news and not give us biased news, right? Don't pick a side, just give us the news. Okay. Now, to describe MSNBC, you can consider it progressive left leaning, right? It is a liberal network. Now, CNN is trying to fit into that more center left media. Fox News, conservative. It is right leaning. Newsmax, far right leaning. OAN, far right leaning. Let's see here. ABC, NBC. I would say. Let me see. I would say center left or just center. Those are platforms that gives you news, and maybe it's because they don't provide as much news coverage or different news programming shows like an MSNBC, CNN, and all those other stuff. Same with PBS, very neutral, very central. News Nation, obviously they've been promoting themselves as centrist and unbiased news. The issue of why folks are scratching their head on like why is this occurring is because look, we have a new administration that is already anti getting criticized. They're trying to toss out those who come disagreeing with the president, right? He sued ABC, he's sued, I believe, MSNBC. He's banned certain medias to be allowed in his press room. Okay. He literally is allowing like one, and I'll show a graphic of it. Like one liberal or center left media outlet. And all of them are going to be like conservative, independent conservative outlets. It's crazy. It's literally like dictatorship at its finest. But Joy has always been a huge critic of the president, right? Even when there was journalists and media platforms saying, okay, come on, we gotta turn it down because this man is looking like he's gonna win. She was never scared. Joy was the first African American black woman to host a primetime show on the network of MSNBC. As the gentleman had mentioned, this is not her, unfamiliar territory for her. She's had a show on when she first started with MSNBC in, I believe, 2014. She had a weekday show called the Reid Report, and then that was canceled really maybe about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then she hosted a weekly show called AM Joy, which is a very popular program, and it garnered, I believe, almost 1 billion viewers on a weekly basis every weekend. And so that was very popular. And then when it announced that she had her own show, everybody was hyped. She's always had very viral moments. She does not hold her peace. Now, here's how I look at it. When it comes to your network news, morning to, let's just say, morning to maybe that like 3 o'clock time slot, that's when you really give just flat out news, unbiased news. Now, when it comes to the prime time spots, that's where you start getting your opinionated content, right? We've seen it on Fox News. We've seen it on CNN. We've seen it like she was doing what she was paid to do. She gave you political news and she shared events, she shared stories, she shared her personal opinion, and then she brought on people from all sides of the aisle. And if she disagreed with them, she said it. If she just said, okay, boom, answer questions, keep it moving, keep it moving. But that was her lane, and she was damn good at it. Now I will say there were moments where I'm like with MSNBC, okay, you're doing a lot of bashing. I am ready to just give me some news, right? And that's not just to pick on them because Fox News does it too. That's why I'm more of a News Nation person, because I like that they really kind of give you fair scenarios. They really you rarely can catch to be like, what person is this? Are they Republican, a Democrat, independent? What's their value? But MSNBC was like very like out there, and by the way, Joy Reid is not the only one that has been axed from her program. Alex Wagner, who was somewhat new to the program, or returning back, excuse me. She had replaced Rachel Maddow's vacant slot. So Rachel Maddow was in the beginning having a primetime show Monday through Fridays. Then she went to just airing on Mondays on a weekly basis, and then Tuesday through Friday was Alex Wagner. and now Alex Wagner's doing more on-field reporting, and now Rachel Maddow is back to filling in those slots for the first 100 days under this new administration. Now sources are saying that in another follow-up, Rashida Jones, who was the former president of MSNBC, shout out, she was also a Hampton University grad, if I'm not mistaken. She served as president, first African American president, for 4 years. She stepped down, so now they have a new president, and they're doing a shakeup with the liberal network. Now, MSNBC is struggling out just like CNN to try and keep ratings going. They had talked about shaking up the lineup by bringing on the show The Weekend, which is hosted by Simone Sanders Townsend, who is a former I think she worked in the Biden-Harris administration. Alicia Menendez, who is also a rising journalist with the network. She's also the daughter of disgraced U.S. Senator Menendez out of New Jersey. And then you also have Michael Steele, former lieutenant governor of Maryland and also former RNC chair, Michael Steele. And so that show has been very, very, very popular. It airs Saturdays and Sundays at, I believe, 8 to 10. And so, trust me, them coming to an evening show, it could be dope. It could be dope. It's a nice panel show. Now, they have not said that Joy has been fired from the network. Just show has been canceled. But I'm going to tell you another interesting thing about this, y'all. Jim Acosta, who used to be on CNN, he was on CNN for close to 18 years. He had a very popular show that I think aired at the 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time slot. And he was another critic of Donald Trump. All right. Here's where I'm going with this. The network wanted to move him to an unpopular time slot. They wanted to basically downgrade him, not promote him, but downgrade him on another position to the point where it's like his message, his voice wasn't going to be as heard as much as it was previously. Now, he was a fan favorite to some folks who, well, not to some, but to most of the anti-Trump supporters, right? He was downgraded. You know what he did? He said, deuces, I'm out. This is not for me. So now he's an independent journalist. He has a show on Substack, I think called the Jim Acosta Show, where he can say whatever he wants to, right? The question is, y'all, what is this pattern you're seeing here? Critics of the former sitting president are either getting axed, canceled, demoted. What's the deal here? Is he's talking to folks behind the scenes? Like, what's up? And that's why it's interesting when you see shows even like The View is still very much doing what they do. Now, what pull do they have that, like, say, Joy Reid with MSNBC and Jim Acosta at the time with CNN? What do they have that these figures don't? And so there's so much outpouring movements as far as you staying with Joy Reid. I saw on my phone not too long ago there was a movement on YouTube just advocating to, I don't know if they want to get her job back or give her back a promotion. I don't know what it is. Joy does host a podcast. She has other projects that are occurring. So I mean, the lady is not. She's probably disappointed, but she'll be all right. She has a fan base. Sometimes when folks get asked from a network, then look, that's just now the icing on the cake for her to say, look, now I can do whatever the hell I want. Tiffany Cross is another popular journalist that came from, well, not came, but she was asked from MSNBC. She now is an NAACP Image Award winner because with her new podcast that she hosts alongside with former Florida governor, Democratic nominee Andrew Gillum, and former CNN political commentator Angela Rye. They host a podcast called Native Land Pod, and it's again, they speak on their issues with corporate media legacy media, mainstream media, however you want to call it. And so it's a lot. It really is a lot. And so we will continue to see what will be next for Joy Reid. Yeah. But that again, that was just in not too long ago. Joy Reid, host of the Reidout on MSNBC, that show has been canceled. That show was on there for close about 6 years. It started in 2020 and it is ending later on in the week. So we will continue to follow up more with that. But let's see here. What I want to do, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere, my friends. We still got a lot more show for you. This is the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, Arrington Gavin. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, Arrington Gavin. Look, next up, I mentioned about I want to bring up this visual for you all. Let me see if I can get it from here. I was talking about news media outlets, independent media, you name it. This was on it's a site that I follow called All Sides Now, and they're just explaining how the press, the Trump administration banned at the time, and I don't know if they're still banned or if they're allowed back. I'm not really sure, but Associate Press, they wrote an article over Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. And so there was so many folks that were so many outlets that were actually siding with Associate Press, like saying, hey, no, they deserve a place in here. So here's a graphic right here. As you see, Fox News, Newsmax side with AP Associate Press after Trump banned it from briefing over the Gulf of America. So it says here that a confidential letter by the White House Correspondents Association condemned the the Trump administration's decision to bar the Associate Press from the Oval Office and Air Force One over its refusal to refer to Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Now, says here that over 40 media organizations signed the letter calling an AP reinstatements, including CNN, the New York Times, ABC News, the Washington Post, Fox News, Newsmax, And those just to name a few. So let me kind of spread. So boom, right there, reported by Mediaite. Fox News signs a letter blasting Trump administration for the ban of, and again, Fox News is right leaning, and then AP is left leaning. And it's interesting how when they start picking, because really no one knew, and I'll be honest, at least for me, no one knew who the hell's side was on really until Trump came to light in the political scene. Now, obviously, the two that I was always easily aware of was CNN and Fox, right? One was more liberal, the other one was more conservative. That was whenever you have a show like Fox News, whenever you have a show like The Five, where you have four conservatives, one liberal, obviously that tells me what side you're on. Moving on to CNN, whenever you have a panel program, or regardless, when you have not a limited amount of conservative voices on there, it makes sense. Now with MSNBC, what got really far left, what I didn't care for, at the time they hired Rana, I believe Rona or Rana McDaniels, who used to be the Republican National. She used to be the chair for the Republican National Committee. There we go. And so they refused. They literally were banding against the network. A lot of the prominent personalities were banding against the network, saying we don't want her here because she was a part of the problem on the lying and misinformation, things of that nature. Now, here's the thing. Did she probably do that? Yes. Does that mean she doesn't deserve a platform to share her thoughts as a conservative on the show? That's when I disagree with. I feel like if they hired her, let her be on there, because for one, if I had to count how many conservative voices they have on there, look, Michael Steele is still a registered Republican, but in my opinion, he's always been for the longest talking junk about the Republican Party. Like, he will tell you he is still very much I guess a Lincoln Republican, Abe Lincoln Republican. He's still a registered Republican. They have other former Republican, say Congress, people of Congress on the network. Hell, Joe Scarborough used to be a former Florida congressman from representing the Republican Party. He's been an independent really since he's worked at MSNBC. But like I said, they have folks who were either used to be a part of the party, are either still considered registered as a Republican, but are they really give you that personality as a true conservative? No. Moving on. Look, The Hill shows Newsmax, Fox News, both back. The AP, Brett Bart, which is another right-leaning publication. Media elites call for boycott on Trump's support of AP speech codes. I mean, it's crazy on how many folks are really just like saying, no, I'm not liking what this new administration is. Now, one more thing I must show, and I'll explain to those who are listening. Let me see if I can find it. Is it still here? Is it still here? Is it still here? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Dang, I think bam, here it is right here. So let me just show you this quick graphic. So check this out, and this was an eye-opener for me. And again, look, am I a critic of Trump? Absolutely. I don't care for the man. I don't really respect him as a leader. I don't think he's the right leader to lead a country. I could care less of what side of the aisle he's on, but I just don't see him as the right leader. So here's this image I just showed for you. So it shows folks who are having difficulties basically trying to join join the press room. Let's see here. Press rooms once upon. Okay, so most of the ones that are either allowed or not just allowed, but the first ones that they wanted to come in. You see it right there. Right leaning, Newsmax, Daily Caller, right leaning, Brett Bart News, right leaning, OAM, right leaning, News, New York Post, in Washington Examiner, in the Free Press, in Huffington Post, the only liberal. Come on now. I mean, look at that. So you see the ones that are in, you see the ones that are out, NPR, New York Times, Washington Post,
CNN, Political News, NBC News, The Hill, which is centrist. Go figure. So why is that not allowed or having difficulties on being in the press room? So it's interesting. It really is. It's disgusting because you have a guy that's like saying, okay, you disagree with me. You're not gonna be allowed in. Let me get all the people that will kiss my ring and just will make me feel like a god, and and it would give my press person all of the right antidotes to make her look good when it comes to answering questions and this and that and the other works. All right, I'm sorry, I've been venting off a lot about that. I apologize. Let me move it on, guys, because I feel like this is a big story. Well, not just story, but just conversation that we need to talk about. So we are going to be having some primaries coming up soon. I know in the state of Virginia, we got some delegate races that'll be happening. The governor's races, what else? Attorney general, lieutenant governor. It's going to be some big races coming up soon within our nation. Obviously, I've been critical with the outcome of the Democratic Party in recent election. Right now, I've mentioned tons and tons of times on this show, y'all. I consider myself an independent. I ride in the middle. I vote with my best interest, but I also, you could say, fiscally conservative, socially liberal. Right? I am all for whoever's in leadership as long as they mean well and they really care about the people. Right? I don't think that it should be one political party to run the whole gamut, to hold the whole U.S. Country. No, you win with multiple values. Now you win with multiple ideas, and bringing all those folks together, we want to see a positive outcome. All right. So I say all that to say is the Democratic Party has been in rebuilding stages since the most recent election, right? We have a new DNC chair, a new vice chair, and they took a huge L in that presidential race, right? They raised enough money. They've had so many issues within their own party, which is not anything out of the ordinary. But it's just so many things that they're getting faced with. Folks who are just frustrated with them. Again, countless loss of elections. They lost the House, they lost the Senate. And so I bring up the question is the Democratic Party, let me actually change that. Are the Democratic Party the ones to blame? Meaning, is the Democratic elites, those who are in leadership representing the Democratic Party, are they the ones to blame? Or is it the people? Now, what I mean by that, y'all. So let me bring up this video of Stephen A. Smith. He's starting to find a new fame in the political scene because he's known for millions as the guy. Is known as the guy in sports media, but now he's taken a leap in the political scene with his own show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, his own YouTube show and podcast, where he speaks a lot on politics, and it gets him on shows like Fox. It gets him on shows Hannity, gets him on shows on News Nation with Chris Cuomo. It's been announced that he's going to be on this tour with Bill O'Reilly, a former Fox News personality, Chris Cuomo, and him. 3 different opinions, 3 different, I guess I respect those who are on that stage as far as what they've done in the world of journalism and politics and things of that nature. I might not agree with them, but I mean, they say some things that I'm like, oh, that's dope. And I mean, look, I'll be honest, I'm a fan of Cuomo. I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith. Bill O'Reilly, not so much fan, but hey, he's been doing it for years. He's made a career out of his way of sharing his information. He is a very intelligent guy. But here's what Stephen A. Smith had to say. He was recently on a popular political podcast called Pod Save the World, and this is what he had to say. So let me share that with you all, and we'll talk on the other side.
Because y'all are too busy trying to pick candidates for the American people instead of listening to the American people tell you who they want. The last Democrat that the American people told you they wanted was Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton, it's her turn. Bernie Sanders had momentum. It's Hillary's turn. Joe Biden captured momentum because Representative Clyburn got involved in South Carolina, saved his behind, but it's really his turn, okay? He has no business running for re-election, but everybody went for it, knowing he was supposed to be transitional. He's going to be 81 years of age. Then you sit up there. He doesn't have a primary. Then he goes on the debate stage, embarrasses himself. Then y'all still let him take 3 damn weeks to walk away instead of getting the hell out there immediately so you can see if there's somebody other than Kamala Harris who could be the Democratic nominee. Then she gets the nomination, and everybody wants to act like she's the rock star all of y'all wanted all along. Oh, my God, let's throw up our hands and just say, hey, she is the one. When you know good and damn well that wasn't the truth. Because y'all are too busy trying to pick candidates for the American people instead.
So check this out. I don't disagree with what Stephen A had to say. Now, a lot of folks are get annoyed a lot by Stephen A, but I totally disagree because hear me out. Barack was the last, in my opinion, most popular figure, not just in the Democratic Party, but in the world of politics. Oh my gosh, so many folks adored this man. They still do. Him and his wife, First Lady Michelle Obama. They adore this person. Now, fast forward, Hillary was not a overpopular figure, obviously, like Obama. Were there others that could have possibly been second behind him? I don't know. It's just she was very qualified. She made it so close when Obama was, running. So obviously they're like, okay, she's a second most popular one in the party. So I kind of disagree with Stephen A on that case that, it's her time. But it was her time. So I disagree with him thinking that the Democratic Party chose her, which they might have been backing her. But guess what? The public also voted for this lady too, as a Democratic nominee. So at the end of the day, she did go through the whole primary process. She did go through the whole who would you vote as a Democratic nominee, and they did. Now, where I would agree with him is in the recent moments. Now, I wasn't all the way in for Biden running for president in the first go round. I wasn't. He had already served 2 terms as VP. He was an older guy. I saw some new faces that was in that race that I thought would be quite interesting. Seeing the comparison to, at that time who was on the Republican side and who was on the Democratic side. So I'm like, I don't think Biden was that person. I really don't. But as I mentioned before, Biden was the almighty replacement. He was the almighty replacement. At that point, people would vote for a donkey as long as it gets Trump out of office. That's how the folks, how they felt. Now, he was right as far as James Clyburn. When James Clyburn gave him that endorsement, man, everybody stood behind Biden because Biden was struggling as well. But once he got that endorsement by South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn, rest was history. So again, you have the almighty replacement entering into office. Now, to me, I just felt like, okay, boom, bro, you're in your 80s. You're old. You fought so hard for years to try and get to that level to say, okay, President Joe Biden. All right. Why continue to keep? What do you have more to gain? You've done it for so many freaking years. So he lied to folks by saying, okay, look, I'm going to stay and run for re-election. I don't care to you if you didn't see like nobody was going to be up to plate. Look, that's where you got to work within the party and say, okay, look, who is going to be second in command? Because now we got to continue to groom them to get to be that competitor. He took his time and then he failed. He bombed the debate, right? Then he says, oh, he's still good, and then gives his VP 90 days. A black woman who, by the way, did not make it far within the she didn't even make it to Iowa when she ran for president. Now, that doesn't mean she wasn't qualified to run, because she definitely was. On paper, she was highly qualified. But I do think that there was a miscommunication between the people and what they wanted and then what the Democratic Party wanted. And the fact that I feel like the Democratic Party ignored what the people asked for and what they wanted and went what they wanted. And guess what? Now we're in this scenario. We're in this predicament right here. You lost. You lost everything. All right, you lost everything. So I to say all that, y'all. Stephen A can get on a lot of people's nerves. I think he's a quite intelligent dude. I'll be honest. I'm a fan. He gets me thinking. He brings up great points. But I don't think he's wrong. And the fact that he raises voices a lot at the Democratic Party side, to me, is a way of saying, okay, well, how can y'all prove him wrong? How can y'all prove him? What is your antidote to prove him wrong? All right. Because if you don't have anything in response, then why continue to just say, "Oh, you just keep on clowning, you just keep on siding with the white folks and this, then?" I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. He voted for Kamala Harris. Yes, he's an independent, but guess what? He wanted to see her win. He is not pro-Trump, as most people always say. If you talk against the left, oh, then that must be you must be for the right. I mean, give me a break, y'all. Again, let's call a spade a spade. If someone does something wrong, we're gonna talk about it. If someone do something right, we're gonna talk about it. We will continue to see, and I'll keep you guys followed up. There's so many other stories that I wanted to mention, but again, the biggest story of this show, y'all, as I mentioned earlier, we are excited to be joining the platform GOATverse TV app. Yes, we have now, the Arrington Gavin Show is collab with GOATverse TV. GOATverse, GOAT, GOAT, verse, VERSE TV app. All right. It is free, available on the App Store, Google Play Store, as well as on Roku and Fire Stick, y'all. So our audiences continue to grow and grow and grow. Couldn't be more excited, y'all. We have amazing content. I've downloaded it. You should download it as well. And again, it's great content. Music from local artists, great stories, great content shows. The Bare Naked Truth podcast, GOAT Talk Live. What else? There was another platform called oh my goodness. There's so many, but look, I'm gonna make a post about it and share it. But I'm so hyped, so excited, and I again, the show is growing. We are growing each and every step, and I couldn't do it all without you all, the listeners, the viewers out there. We are growing in subscribers, listenerships, viewerships, and so yeah, we got a lot of stuff in store for you all. Great guests coming forth, great stories and topics that we're going to share, and we just got a lot of great stuff coming your way. So as always, my friends, looking like my time is coming up on that scale, but do me a favor, continue to support the Arrington Gavin Show. There's multiple ways you can follow us and tune into our programs. Please follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also follow us on X, Blue Sky, and Substack. All right, those are our social media handles where you can social media platforms where you can follow us. And yeah, y'all stay blessed. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. Make sure you continue to stay prayed up. Keep that hustle mentality going. It's 2025, y'all. We all want to succeed this year, and we're going to keep that ball rolling, keep that momentum going. So y'all take care. I will see y'all next time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.